This is the Gristled Up Podcast, episode 5, correct?
Yep.
Just cooking right through these bad girls.
Yeah, it's honestly been like a lot fast. Like I feel like I was so nervous that first time, and like now it's like it's
great.
It's crazy thinking about like going week to week. It seems like once Tuesday hits, we get the episode knocked out, and then it seems like forever and a day until we're back. But then to think about it, like we talked about earlier, it's been a little over a month since we started doing this now.
That is nuts.
Which is really crazy to think. And that kind of makes you look at it as time as you age. As you get older, time goes by faster, but then there's some things. It's really weird to me how you're really excited about doing something. Like, not saying that I really look forward to this, but obviously I enjoy sitting around with everybody.
Sure.
So like you look forward to something and then it gets here and then 2 hours of it and it's gone and then it's like, till next time.
Next week.
Yeah.
Like we recently took a trip to Indy for her birthday, and like we planned it almost 2 months out.
Mm-hmm.
And like every weekend I went to work, I'm like, oh yeah. Like I got close. 2 days off coming up.
Oh baby.
Yeah, and then we get up there, we had a great time, but it went by super fast. And then next thing you know, we're coming home, and then it's like, well, now what do we do?
You know what they say? It's like been scientifically proven that like the week before you go on vacation is actually more of a dopamine rush than actually being there.
Yeah,
because you're just so excited.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
You're so like, and then you actually get there, and it's not that it's a letdown, but it's just like you also have thoughts of, this is going to be over. Whereas that week right before, it's like, I got that,
that is so true.
But
have you noticed, since you guys have gotten older and experienced more stuff like that, what little things you get excited about nowadays compared to when we were as kids?
yes.
Like, Duane, you're still a damn child, so...
Yeah,
Tell us, old wise one.
Well, in my day...
I walked uphill both ways in 10 feet of snow.
Exactly. He knows.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, now I'm excited to, like, see the yard mode.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I
Seriously.
never would have thought.
Go jump off a bridge.
Whenever I was younger, you go spend a couple, $3,000, get you a new four-wheeler or something, you're like, you're just out ripping it all the time. And then whenever I bought the house,
Jesus, $5?
Not only that, but I bought the house, and I found a mower that was a couple, $3-4 grand, and I'm like, yeah. I bought it, and I brought it home, and I'm like, showing her, I'm like, you want to sit on it? Like, she gives a shit, Like, I'll show you how to drive it sometimes. She's like, nah.
Sit right there on the
Bing, bing. Got room for one more if you still want to go to Aspen.
Got room for one more if you still want to go to Aspen.
You've not seen that, have you?
No. Yeah, I'm supposed to get to that point?
Yes.
Jeez.
It's been great having you, Duane. It really has.
It has been. We've almost missed you.
Really?
I did. I really did.
I missed
I looked at you like a stepson. Like my stepson.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of stepsons, what childhood memories do you have?
Shit, we did a lot. We were always walking around in the creek, stuff type like that. Playing video games always.
So like we talked about a minute ago, little things excite you now versus what excited you back then?
Like getting home every night to play like COD or something like
Yes.
that, Fortnite. I feel like it's almost better having the bad internet than having good internet. I always had bad internet.
I did too. I hated
It made
that
it so much more fun though. For
Yeah.
some reason, getting pissed off.
Yeah, you're running, and next thing you know, it's like starts you back over. You're like, what the and then
Yeah.
you're like, you're sitting there just unloading on somebody, and then it's like kill cam, and you're dead. You're like,
What happened?
I don't think I would have had that much fun playing in like the city where the internet was good and stuff like
yeah.
that. Not at all.
We didn't have internet until my freshman year at college. And the only reason why we got internet was because I was in college.
Yeah, Kip's like, why do we need internet? We got prime rib.
Whose internet and why do we need it?
But no, I completely agree. I remember like those times, like I remember when Grand Theft Auto came out, and I was like, my mom, I thought I had it over on her because I'm like, I'm gonna act like I'm sick tomorrow, and I'm gonna have the entire day devoted to playing this. And dude, there was something in me that was like, it was like vacation. It was like,
Yeah.
I'm doing that. You know? It was just, and then little does she know, she thinks I'm at home, you know, sick, eating soup, just really having a horrible time.
So-
but really, I'm killing
Watching the
strippers.
Price is Right with the
Like-
package of saltine crackers.
Yeah.
Did you actually get away with doing that?
Yes,
Okay.
I remember when
I figured
GTA
you
5
did, but-
come out.
Oh my gosh, dude, that was a banger.
'Cause my brother was pissed because if I remember it correctly, he couldn't do it because the odds of us both being sick.
you.
It's like I had already been planning for this, Kyler.
Yeah.
So you got to go to school, buddy.
Choose the game.
But no,
Get your ass on the bus.
That's pretty neat. Or, I mean, is there any that like? I'm just interested to hear because it sounds like you had a different childhood than me or the rest of
The
it.
sheer fact that you know what a creek is blew my mind.
Yeah, I honestly
blown
I-
away. And you said you had bad internet. I
Yeah.
would have never guessed that.
No, it was like 1 megabyte a second on a good day.
That's probably relatively close. To
Yeah. Never good.
never.
Because we grew up in the middle of nowhere. So, and Dad worked third shift overnights. So we really didn't have a whole lot that we could do inside. Or else we'd waking up and feel the wrath of God come upon us, which was never fun. So, yeah, we were forced to go and we had a creek just right across the cornfield from us. We'd go play in it, we'd go down to the river, play around on the sandbar, and we would get like, finally, Dad went out and he bought a four-wheeler, and when we thought we were being quiet, we were not, and we're informed of such. When it's noon and you're just sitting there blaring, yes, wide open, flying through the front yard, and it's like, oh, he's not gonna hear us. And you see him like poke his head out the front door. It's like, ugh.
I'm never going home.
Yeah, it's death itself. He's about to ruin us.
I get okay. This one's
The only time we really got to play video games was like whenever Dad woke up, and even then he'd run us out. He's like, get your ass outside, you don't need that stupid shit.
Not to go off the topic, but was there ever a time when you guys were kids that you were like, "Fuck this, I'm running away"?
I think every kid has went through that at some point.
Did you guys
Like,
actually do it, or was I the only one that slept under the bridge at Washington Park?
I never ran away
No, I'm kidding.
because,
No, I'm kidding.
again,
Oh no, that was awfully specific.
No, I never did. No.
where we grew up, our closest neighbor was 2 miles, and we were 20 miles from town. And I wasn't about to pack a backpack and grab a fucking teddy bear and hoof it 20 miles to town. About the time you got pissed off, you made it past the garage, and it's like, it's not so bad. Like,
Yeah. He's gonna love me tomorrow.
yeah, I'll just take the ass whooping tonight, and everything will be okay tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like you had an ass whooping allowance.
Yeah.
It was like, well, you know, I've still got a couple ass whippings left for the week, so.
Yeah. three fuck ups, you got one free ass whooping. It's pretty sweet. I mean,
Like a coupon.
Let's cash that bad boy in. I'm sure there was times where I got really irritated about something, but I don't want to say like I was more mature, but like obviously whenever I screwed up, I knew I screwed up, but it wasn't one of those, it's like, I'm just gonna get out of here. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I knew instantly, like, well, I have nowhere to go.
A can
Where
full
would I
of
go?
beans and a pocket full of dreams.
Like, where would I go? I don't have a job. I don't have nothing to do. I'm 8. Like, where is that gonna get me?
I don't
to my
even know how to make ramen
grandmother's
noodles.
house? Yeah.
I ain't gonna last long out here.
I had burnt toast the other day. Like, I am fucked.
Did you ever have any thoughts of running away or anything like that?
Oh yeah. So like my dad lived in West Virginia, and
Boy, that's
I remember I got so
that's
mad.
a long haul.
No,
He had a lot of spaghettios.
A lot of SpaghettiOs and new hiking boots.
Genuine ostrich. 3 payments.
So whenever I would get like super mad, I would always threaten to tell mom, "Oh, I'm gonna go move to dad's."
Oh,
And you wouldn't believe it about my mom, but when she yells, she yells.
Oh,
So
I
I
can
believe
see
it.
Too
She
sweet
rides a
innocent
Harley.
to not
Yeah.
She rides a Harley. I wouldn't fuck with her.
So I
Super
would,
sweet anytime I
Yeah.
met her. But
Yeah. Don't fuck with them Harley riders.
Shut up.
so I would prep myself to like tell her this, and then when I do, she would have a stern talk with me, and I would never say again that I'm gonna move to dad's.
now, have you guys done that before? Like, you're about to go pick a fight with mom and dad. You're up in your bedroom or in the bathroom. You're just psyching yourself up. Like, here, we're gonna set things straight today.
Talk
This is how it's gonna
Running
be.
1,000 scenarios
Oh,
in your
yeah.
head. Like when she says this, I've got this to fucking say.
Oh,
And you go in there and they say no, and you're like, okay. You turn around and walk
That
away.
wasn't anything in all of my flashcards.
I never
I
saw
literally
you
did this
just
for
saying
3
no.
hours straight.
Yeah.
I have rehearsed it and rehearsed
And
it.
now you're back to watching Dr. Phil. What do I not matter? Do I not matter?
I remember one night I got so worked up, and I was like, the next morning I'm gonna wake up, walk 5 miles to my friend's house that lives out in the country as well. I never ended up doing it, but like I was
You made
so
it.
ready to.
You made it out to the mailbox. She's like, "Where are you going?" I just get in the mail.
Treat it and forget it.
Mom, I
Gotta
love
make
you.
sure this electric bill gets paid, Mom.
I'll help whenever I can.
I love you. And you just accept it.
So you said that you used to go down to the creek. What all did you do? Like, just typical
Oh,
like
dude.
skipping rocks or just
No, we used
Middle
to toss
fucking-
on like these rubber boots. We would walk for miles, like 2 or 3 miles, just down there.
awesome.
I remember one day, like one birthday actually, I got all my buddies together, and that's what we did. Like 10 of us just walked down. in the
Was
creek.
that like your 21, right? So 19? 19th birthday?
Damn near, yeah.
Sweet.
It's like, we can't drink yet, but that creek.
Yeah.
You get my age.
That was the shit.
You get my age. You see a creek. It's like, fuck. There's a hill on either side of that.
I wouldn't say that. Like being a dirt bike rider, I think for
I'm
me
talking
it's
for
like
hunting.
okay, yeah, two
It's like
different.
I know I've got
like
to
for-
go up this big ass hill to get. To
Yeah,
the
you're
stand.
walking it. For
It's
me,
like,
it was like, God, I wish I had a dirt bike right now. Fucking cross that.
Prime Fortnite in like 2016. That was the shit.
It was. I remember when that game first came out. It was like free to play,
Mhm.
and that was
still
like,
is, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, but it's hidden behind so many microtransactions, which fuck video game creators that are doing that now. But I share that with you because it was like the first game where you have 100. Well, I'm thinking of Battle Royale.
yeah.
But
One
like-
of the first.
You'd have, I don't know how many there were in Fortnite, but you'd have like 50 players dropping in one big map, and it's like, who's going to be number one? You know, that was the first time anybody had
It
even.
was like a pioneer for games, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh man.
So, I don't mean to interrupt, but Sean's talked about this in the last episode, Minecraft. Were you ever a Minecrafter?
In my later years, yeah. Like the last
Like
2
recently?
years, yeah.
Okay. Well, I had a friend that,
I'm still never played.
Oh,
It's-
it's so fun.
are you like, obviously working around you, you got a little bit of OCD, but like, is it something that drives you nuts? Just your OCD, or do you?
Not really.
Okay, I was gonna say if it does, not the game for you.
Oh, really?
Dude, I would get anxious whenever I played that game. I would have such bad anxiety because, like, you've probably seen pictures, but like the map just starts out and it's just like the blocks of like a mountain built off.
It looks incredibly
Yeah.
pixelated.
So you're like,
Yeah.
God. So you start like, oh, I'm gonna make a house right here. So you start making a house on the side of a mountain. It's like, well, that's not center, so I'm gonna go over here. And then you spend an hour clearing off this side of the mountain, and you're like, okay. And you're like, oh shoot, that side of the mountain's off. So then you go over that side and you spend an hour and a half clearing off that side. And then you're like, I don't like this map. So then you switch.
So you've just wasted 4 hours to decide that this
Yeah,
sucks.
it's like, I don't even know how to build a house. I don't know how to make glass. How do you do this?
Once you get it, though, it's addicting.
I honestly thought, I had a friend that he's kind of, I wouldn't say nerdier, but he's more into games along those lines. He was telling me that I need to try it, and I'm like, that ain't for me. And I went ahead and downloaded it because he would not leave me alone about it. And I started playing it, and I'm like, you know, you get home from school at 3 o'clock, and then like you go to pee and it's 7:30, and you're like,
But
What happened?
you're just seeing blocks as you're peeing.
you had
The
built a
toilet's
house.
pixelated.
You fed the children in the village next to you.
Yeah.
You just got this huge wheat farm going. Like, it's
You say
sounds
wheat
like-
or wheat?
wheat,
Okay.
wheat.
It sounds like one of my buddies played Farming Simulator. It's like,
I love
he
farming.
gets off of work, I'll text him next morning, whatever. It's like, hey, what's up, man? I had a late night. I'm like, oh, did you go out to the bar? No, I stayed up and picked all my bean fields. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, about 16,000 acres last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy must be tired. God, farming boy? Jeez. I love farming simulator.
I've never.
That?
I never got into it either, no.
Oh, okay. I'm a piece of shit then?
We knew that.
I always wanted to download it.
Yeah,
I
it's
just,
fun.
I
It's-
never spent the
I
money
find
on
it hard to spend $40 on something that act like I'm a
Well,
farmer.
I was
Yeah,
worried I would.
I've got pressure washing simulator, so it's.
Dude, I really
it's
like
sad.
reality.
Why don't you just go pressure wash?
Too much work.
I really like reality games. Like, whenever I would play Grand Theft Auto, like, I would just get in the car and cruise around, you know.
You would
stop at
drive
stop
the-
signs.
yeah.
Pick up a hooker.
Yeah.
Stuff that
Like-
you're doing normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that every kid does playing that game. Well,
So-
I'm definitely getting this hooker. Then you pay her and you kill her and take your money back.
Yeah. Did you ever
real
notice
life.
how it was weird? You pay $100, you shoot her in the head, and you get $15. Does that ever happen to?
That's tax.
It's like, she put it in her Venmo. I can't get that back.
Transaction.
It's in
never
PayPal
processed.
now.
Yeah.
What happened to the cash only hookers?
We find this way funnier than Duane does.
Mine's like cashless. What the
What is
fuck?
cash?
No, I'm sorry. What is
Paperless. Same difference.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
No, I was just never big into GTA is all I can say.
Oh, okay,
I never
yeah.
played it.
So we're all a piece of shit.
I guess so, yeah.
I didn't say it.
It was just creeks and Fortnite.
Yeah.
Damn near. And that DS.
Oh, okay, that's something like it.
Yeah.
The DS.
Nintendo DS.
Was that the handheld?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We had the Game Boy Advance. And I
Yeah.
pissed my brother off once because, you know, being 12 and hard up for cash, I sold his Game Boy to a buddy of mine for $5. Little do you know at that age that those things cost like $100 a
Yeah.
pop.
I remember.
So you could just imagine my parents' reaction when they found out that I sold it for like $5 or $10.
You're gonna take that back and get that money.
When I was 13, I traded a vape, a blue e-cigarette. You guys remember those? For a fucking PS Vita.
Damn.
Dude, I made out. And I never fucking gave that PSP to me.
My brother never got his Game Boy back either.
Yeah. What, are you gonna go back to the guy and be like, hey,
Yeah.
come on.
I thought it over.
Yeah, I'm really
Bad
getting the
decision
short
on
end
my
of the
part.
stick. I got $5 and I can't walk right for a week because my dad just beat the shit out of me. I think one of my favorite things that, and I think about it pretty often really, was just the sleepovers we used to have.
Yeah.
Because it was just hard telling what me and some of my friends were going to get into.
You just shared
stupid
something
shit.
earlier that I lost my shit on was the the attempting to stay up all night, pull all-nighters, but
yeah.
now you can't even pull all-dayers.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more with
Like,
that.
growing up, you would just try like hell. You could
Oh,
stay
yeah.
up until 6 or 7.
I'd always hit 5:30.
Yeah. And then you'd crash for maybe an hour.
Oh,
And
dude,
then
I'd end
you'd
up
be-
sleeping until like 4:30, and then I'd be like,
Oh, we would sleep until like,
Then you're back up doing the same
Yeah.
thing.
yeah, we'd sleep until like 8 or 9 and then just start it all over again. Now, I stayed up till 1 o'clock last night, woke up at 8 and felt like death. It's like, oh my God,
yeah,
this is miserable.
You feel like you didn't do anything productive, and then the rest of the evening seems to go that way.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Yeah, just some of the stupid shit we did at these sleepovers. Some of them were mild, you just sit around eating popcorn, watching movies all night. Then others you'd be up till 2 or 3 in the morning out in the woods doing God knows what.
Satanic shit.
Oh, typically. Like we're sacrificing goats that we found on the
The
neighbor's
cat,
property.
the neighbor cat.
Yeah, I mean, just, your typical country life.
Yeah, I remember just like sneaking out the windows and like going, like I live next to a subdivision across the field, and dude, we had 5 kids in the house, so, if I had a friend over, odds are my other brothers had a friend over, or my sister had a friend over, so we would all some nights get together, and it was like, hey, we're all sneaking out, we're gonna walk down the railroad tracks, and
yeah.
Go-
like
go
your
ding dong
mom
ditching
wouldn't
over.
notice how loud as fuck it was in the house to just dead silent.
I think she kind of expected us to. I mean,
There's
when you
15
have,
people in the house and I don't hear anything.
I think it was more she was just like, all right, I'm just gonna, I
Yeah.
hear something.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know these kids are gonna go do something dumb. I just hope I don't get called to get them.
Yeah, exactly.
Just put my phone on silent.
They're gonna sit there till morning. Mama's gonna sleep well.
Yeah. I mean, because the stuff we were doing, I mean, we were out sneaking cigarettes and
Oh yeah.
ding dong ditching the elderly neighbors.
Our big thing was like TPing and
Yeah.
soaping
Oh my
windows.
gosh. Yeah.
We thought we were being real sneaky one night, me and one of my really close friends. We couldn't drive because his mom was toting us everywhere. So 8th grade, freshman year, somewhere in there. And we stopped over at one of our other friends' house. We're TPing her. Well, she had barn cats, and one of them kept coming up and like rubbing up against us, and it's like, all right, this little bitch is gonna get it. No. So we fucking get done with what we're doing. Coax that cat to come over to us, and we had saran wrap in the house. We saran wrapped the cat to her mailbox. Little did we know, our friend wasn't home, but her mom had been standing in the kitchen, just like drinking a glass of water, watching us, just going, these fucking idiots. We thought we was getting away with it. So the next morning, we get a phone call, and it was our friend. She's going, did you guys TP me last? Oh no, we totally got her. She's like, yeah, you did. It's like, how do you know? Because my mom fucking told me that you were here TPing the house and you saran wrapped my goddamn cat to the mailbox.
I remember one of my friends, we would always TP his house, and he knew it was us, obviously, because if he wasn't hanging out with us, he would get TP'd. It's like, it only made sense. But not only that, we would hit him in like the middle of June. We're out there sweating our sack off. But it was so funny because we just get a text that next morning. Really? June? Like, you betcha.
Well, for me, oh, go ahead.
There was one other kid we always TP'd, and the only reason we did is because we always used to go to the bowling alley. This kid lived just a little bit further than we normally like to walk, but it was the closest house to the bowling alley. So we would go TP him and then go back to the bowling alley and bowl the rest of the night.
And meanwhile, he's probably inside like, fuck, I wish I could go bowling. Like, my life sucks. It's like,
They never invite me.
he wakes up in the morning and he's got to go clean up the fucking teepee in here.
The best part about it is the way the yard was set up. We always would teepee the trees on the south side of the driveway. We had been doing this for years. Come to find out, that was his neighbor's. It's like that poor neighbor. Like, he goes out there, he's like, what the hell? Every damn weekend.
What sucked about us team teaming for my parents was they lost either way because A, we probably didn't have the money, so we would steal all the toilet paper we had in the house. And then B, if we did get the money, it was out of their change jars that they were probably collecting my college savings in.
So you put your college savings on Charmin.
Back to that ding dong ditching, we used to do that hard. And we got up to the point where we
Like
did it
literally hard or what?
like hitting every house.
Like you just ram your finger into the button hard, or
Yeah.
just
Oh yeah. Coming back for seconds sometimes.
Oh.
But we moved up to this point where we were ding dong ditching during the day.
hey.
So we get up to the front porch of this one house during the middle of the day. It's like Saturday at 11 a.m. And all three of us are walking up onto the porch. And we're too far in, so I don't say anything. But I look to my right, and the person that lives at the house is like in their garage watching us in the attic. And we ding dong ditch it still and run away. But they find us immediately. They track us down to our house.
We hit the button, lean around the corner. I hit your doorbell.
Got you, bitch.
We never did the ding dong ditch. We did have the cops called on us kids. One of my friends, we actually walked ourselves out of his house, and we spent an hour trying to break back into his house. And the neighbor didn't recognize him, so called the cops on us. About the time we finally get into the front window and our feet are dangling out, the cops show up. Well, I live here. So going back to your whole, you like to go down to the creek and stuff as a kid. Did you ever have blowguns? Like you'd load in the metal darts and.
Yeah, I did actually. I would try and shoot like birds and stuff with it.
So did we. We found it a lot easier to shoot frogs. So we could
Okay.
just be walking up and down the creek bank shooting frogs or just whatever we could try to shoot. We were sitting on the back porch at Mom and Dad's, and we just got back from the creek. Had our collection of toads that we killed. He's like, I wonder what one of these feels like. Well,
He died that day.
to paint this picture, he's built like Cartman from South Park. A little sold-off guy, weighs about 400 pounds. Just
Yeah.
Me?
big dude.
Yeah. Oh, good.
You look tiny to him. But, so he kicks his fucking sandal off and he puts that little leg out there.
Oh, God.
And he's like, I'm just going to barely blow into it and let it hit the top of my foot. All right, that sounds like a great idea. Well, I crack a joke right before he does it. And he just fucking heaves it, misses his foot, and it goes right into the webbing between his big toe and the little toe. Same buddy. He didn't lose a finger during this. But we're at his parents' house, just target practicing, shooting our bows. And he got these brand new set of broadheads. He wanted to shoot at target with those, see how they flew, and see if he had to adjust his sights. Well, I don't know how much you guys know about shooting bows or anything like that, swapping broadheads out, but they actually have a broadhead wrench. And it was sitting over on the truck, It's like, all right, give me a sec, I'll go get those. He's gonna switch out a practice tip with this broadhead. No, I'll just use my fingers. It's no big deal. It's not very tight. And these are brand new out of the box, so they are just razor sharp. And he goes to pop that broadhead loose, and he runs his damn right down to the bone, down to the first knuckle on his thumb. He's just bleeding like a stuck hog. They just finished remodeling the house. We get into his parents' bathroom to try to clean it up and put a Band-Aid on it, and it looked like someone slaughtered a fucking hog. It was all white, just stained red. So it's like, we might want to call your mom on this one. So he's calling her. I'm like holding his hand down over the sink, trying to get this thing to stop bleeding. And it's like, we've seen it all in movies, let's dump some alcohol on that thing.
Oh.
So we dump alcohol on it, and that's about the time his mom answers, and he just, screaming like a banshee. And she's like, what is going on? We're like, we had an accident. All right, well, what's going on? Well, we were shooting our bows, and I'll just say his name. He was trying to take his broadhead off, and he ran it down to his thumb. Well, how bad is it? It's like, well, we think we can see some white down in there. Well, how fucking long has this been going on? It's like, at least a half an hour. I don't know what we need to do. Once his mom got it to stop bleeding, she chased us through the house with a fucking fly swatter and beat the absolute hell out of us. He soon forgot that he cut his finger.
So I've always kind of thought of myself as like a hardy kid somewhat. Like my first job was I was on the back of a trash truck, and then my next job, yeah, you wouldn't believe it at all.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
The next summer I worked at a turkey farm. I never could bring myself to like kill any of the turkeys, but I worked at a turkey farm.
Did you ever smack him in the head to get him to do it?
Dude, they would fluster up and get like as big as you. It's awful.
It's not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
You know how to put them to sleep?
No.
You pick them up, and you tuck their head underneath their wing, and you just hold them there, and they fall asleep.
That's suffocation.
They come back to life.
But I never saw myself as like a soft kid, and I always thought about, oh, what would happen? Do you think, would I just pass out like that if it came down to it? My mom comes in at 6 a.m. in the morning with this huge gash on her arm right here. It's like here all the way to the end of her wrist. She drops glass outside, I guess, and it comes up and cuts her. She wakes me up first thing in the morning. She's like, what should I do about this? Asking me, this little 20-year-old kid, what should I do?
Little, you knew what was going on.
And I was like, I don't know, maybe we should call your brother and see what he... So I FaceTime him, and we're asking him what we should do about this. And she's gushing blood and everything. And she's like, hold the camera still so we can get a good angle on the cut. And I'm trying to do it as good as I can, as close as possible,
like,
staring at it,
folding it back,
seeing all the flesh move around in there. And we come to the consensus that it's not that bad. And she should cover it up, that there's no need for stitches. And I start to get this slight sweat on my forehead, and I start to get cold. And I'm like, okay, guys, we come to a consensus. I'm done here. Let's hang up real quick.
I'm gonna go take 5.
I gotta go put my feet up.
They keep talking, and I'm like, no, we gotta leave now. So I start walking with my phone to the bathroom because I feel like I'm gonna throw up. And then I get right into the bathroom. I'm facing the wall, and the toilet's right next to it. I hear my phone hit the ground, and the second I hear my phone hit the ground, I'm out, and I smack right into the wall, face first into the wall.
Duane ends up more fucked up than his mom.
Yeah.
It's just a
You
never
just
ending
need
cycle.
the Hello Kitty Band-Aid on her wrist. Duane's fucking in a coma.
His mom's got a paper cut, and he's missing 3 teeth, a broken nose, and now Uncle Chuck's got to come down and re-drywall the bathroom.
But the second I hit the ground, it's a wake-up call, and I'm back up. My lip was all puffed up, and I shattered a tooth, but other than that, tooth was good.
Twofer.
Oh.
Got 2 for 1.
I only really get squeamish around blood when it's my blood, in big amounts.
Yeah.
Like, I've been shoulder deep inside of an animal, ripping its insides out, and it's like, meh, whatever. But if I see blood running off of me, I'm gonna start getting woozy.
See, I'm
Really?
almost completely the opposite. Like him talking about, well, maybe not so much that, but just I don't know, like somebody does something to. I'm weird about fingernails. Somebody scrapes their fingernail, or oh my god, I'm like, ugh. But like if I do that to me, like yeah, it's like ugh. But I don't know, yeah, cuts and
Yeah. When I wrecked one of my dirt bikes one time, it was on the asphalt, and I folded up. I think it was this big. Yeah.
Feel woozy.
I'm feeling woozy, yeah.
is that awful? Is that a scary movie or is it
Scream.
Scream?
But yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more. Is the word squeamish? Yeah, on
I've
stuff
noticed
like
that
that.
too.
Like like not with blood and stuff really, but like I've noticed I can't watch Saw like I used to when I was 8, 9. You know.
Makes sense.
I can watch, like, you say Saw, or even like Hostel.
Oh,
Like, I can
God,
see
yeah,
people
Hostel.
getting chopped into pieces on movies. And it's like, yeah, that guy, yeah, he deserved it. Fuck that guy. You ever seen House of Wax?
Yes, that's a classic.
Whenever,
It's a good horror movie.
yeah, in the beginning, whenever they come up out of that trap door with the big ass pair of scissors, and he cuts that dude's Achilles tendon, I have to look away.
I don't like that.
Every time.
Just
If there's,
because
like,
you know that's instant damage. Like
yeah,
that you're not coming back from.
no. That's,
Yeah, I don't
I've
like
seen
the whole
that in 2 other
tendon
movies,
cut.
and I have to look away every time. I can't watch that because I get all.
I
But
get it.
broken bones don't bother you guys or anything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've there's a lot of things like
And
that.
movies
where
are real life.
In real life.
I haven't seen a whole lot.
I think the worst thing for me is gym accidents. Seeing these guys lifting these weights.
Some of those
and,
are rough.
dude, ugh.
I mean,
I've
I'll
seen
like
s-
wince at it, like, but it's nothing more than that.
I've seen
You're
somebody
so
actually
hard.
get their fingertip pinched off, and that one was pretty tough to see. But that's probably the worst injury that I've seen on somebody, because we had to actually respond to that one. And yeesh.
I think the worst thing I seen was that nasty video of that guy that got caught in that lathe. I don't know if you guys seen that.
I haven't seen that one.
He
I remember
reached
you
over
telling
and
me
it
about
caught his shirt and
Ooh.
it just he like his
boy.
entire body went through the lathe.
Mm.
And like when he come out, anyway, just bad. Like that stuff I'm squeamish about. But like just small cuts or anything, it doesn't really bother me. I do see with the fingernail how that would, just because honestly those small wounds hurt the worst.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
like
think. I'd rather have my fucking leg cut off than have just a severe gash cut into it,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, I've never had my leg cut off, so I can't.
Alright, yeah. Fuck what I say.
Like needles, and I never used to be that way, but it's similar. Like just little things is what gets me most. But like an IV whenever she was having, and she would move around, and I'd see that in the way it was taped. Like I'd get nauseous her moving around with that, and then she went to sit down one day, and she put her hands like that, and she was like, "Oh," and I was like. Instantly in my head, yeah, I'm about to pass out, and she's like, the tape pulled my arm hair, and I thought it was something to do with that needle. I'm like, getting woozy, but it was just, obviously it was just something dumb, but I'm like, why does shit like that get me? Because then, like, whenever she was giving birth,
I
Like-
couldn't watch that.
I didn't, like, watch it, but I was there for the show, like, I was holding the leg.
I tried,
And,
and I got
like,
passed out.
I seen a majority of what was going on, but didn't even bother me. And I don't understand why that is. It's just little things.
Well,
that
and
fucking
the
get me.
process didn't get to me on that. It was just the rush of emotion that I felt.
Yeah,
Right before-
that is weird.
That's what got me. Because it's like, I'm fine. And then finally, she was actually a student nurse. Like, she was just helping out. She's like, you want to sit down? I'm like, yeah, I should probably sit down. She's like, well, I would rather you sit down and we not have to pick your big ass up.
Back on the IV thing,
Okay.
like, I don't know if it's just knowing that the needle is in there moving around, but
Yeah.
I remember in my bad motorcycle wreck, I had to have surgery on both hands. So they put my IV in this hand, and then it was like, whoa, they realized, they were like, he's having surgery on that hand, so we're going to move it over this one. Well, then they realized, no, he's having surgery over there.
So they had to put it in your fucking ankle?
In my toe.
Ugh!
And this was after missing.
La 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 la.
Yeah. After missing the vein several times on this one, so on my toe they got the laser out. And dude, something about going in your toe and just seeing it down there, like I remember looking down in the hospital bed and it was just hanging out. But the nurses were so cool about it. Like we ended up taking like a picture together and they were like hot as fuck. Yeah. I got the pictures. I'll show you some.
You just he's high as a kite.
Oh, I was, dude. I was so high. Them nurses were like, I wish I could be that high all that time. Because I was talking to them girls like butter.
Well,
You think?
Yeah, I
Looking
know.
back at it, they're probably like, what the fuck?
This kid's
insane.
fucked up.
Yeah.
incoherent babbling
Hey
like
man,
a
you
1-year-old.
wanna go out tonight?
Slobber.
He thinks he's over there like, I saw you across the hospital room.
Oh god.
Yeah, really, it's just foaming at the mouth. Like, we'll bring in all the amateurs because he ain't gonna feel it. We'll just hit him with all these IVs.
Yeah. I've thankfully have never had any. Well, now I gotta find perfect. Thankfully, never
All
had
set.
any. Oh, smack a sack. That tape's decent.
I seen the dust come off.
Or
The
it
dandruff.
dandruff off the old sack there.
Have you guys had any surgeries or anything?
Thankfully, no. I dislocated a toe one time, but.
That had to be uncomfortable.
Well, and the biggest part about it is it wasn't ever like x-rayed, it's dislocated, but you know, you look at it and the other one, like that. It's like,
And the sad thing is
That little picky was trying to take a left.
with toes and fingers, there's really not much they do. Like they just, and there's really not much they can do. They just tape it up to the next one to keep it straight.
Yep. I broke 3 toes on one of my feet, and yeah, they're like,
I had,
go
I'll
get a
tell you
tiger.
what, one of the
I had to
most,
work all week on 3 broken toes.
you were talking about needles earlier. One of the most painful things was when I had all that surgery, I had broken these 3 fingers, and they had put pins in my 2 of these fingers. So these, I don't know if you've ever seen pins in a bone, but they stick out. Like these pins come out to where they can maneuver them. And so basically you've got, like,
I'm just gonna look at Cody.
like you've got basically, like, and they have a white tail on them, but these things are going into your skin. They look like a needle that's just sitting there. And I'm taking a shower once I was finally able to, like, cause there for a while I had road rash and everything, so I couldn't get in the bath. Well, I went to go dry off with the towel, and this was on the door frame too one time. I caught those motherfuckers.
Oh,
And it was like, I could feel it just move, like, because those are there to, like, keep them together. Sorry, Caleb.
You're good. I'm still listening.
Dude, you could feel the pulling on the...
I didn't have any pins in me or anything, but whenever I separated my shoulder and my collarbone from my sternum and everything, I was walking around in a sling, and yeah, it was in high school, I dropped a book or a pen or something, and the first reaction is you lunge for it. No bueno.
Yeah, collarbone break. I had one.
God.
I had one. And this, like, when I had mine, the sad thing is it happened on the playground, and I told the teachers, like, hey, I've like, something's hurting. They were like, oh, you're fine, you know. I kind of feel some sympathy, but I need to quit being so fucking, forgiving. They sent me back up to class, and you probably remember, like, when you got a collarbone break, you can't, like, I was right-handed and I broke this one, and they were like, well, you need to write, you're kind of, it almost seemed like they thought I was like babying you.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally was like, I can't, like, I was using my left hand just to fucking write, and ended up, the nurse finally sent me to the hospital, or told my parents they wanted to take me, and it was broke.
Yeah.
And it is like painful as fuck. You can't move your head.
Yeah.
You can't sleep at night. You just literally gotta lay there. I mean,
mine grew back wrong too, so we're instead of being like where the joint is where it's supposed to be, it's actually offset by like
that's how mine is. And what's weird is like for the first couple of years after, there's weird movements that would cause me pain. I don't have any pain anymore from it. But collarbone sucks.
Yep.
Sucks. I don't know. I've got so much metal in me now that I think when I'm older, it is weird. Like, I never believed.
Arthritis.
Yeah, I already have it in my hands. I can't open bags of chips or pinch really hard.
I do too, but mine's from other things.
What? Like what?
Frost wire and lime wire.
Oh. Yeah, dude, it sucks. Like when the weather's weird.
I'm glad you got it.
When the weather's weird, dude, it'll fuck your bones out.
I used to make fun of Dad growing up because it's like, oh, yeah, we're gonna have a storm today. It's like, how the hell do you know? Well, my shoulders hurt.
Yeah,
Like, shut up.
they'll ache.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
And
they'll
now after
ache.
a couple dozen injuries, you're like, oh, yeah, the right knee means we got a fucking cold front coming in.
My left knee's been aching lately.
Yeah.
It's all this weather.
Left knee means we're getting a foot of snow. So
Yeah.
look out for that one.
Uh-oh, she's stiffening up a little.
Yeah, I cannot express the importance in like after a bone injury or a bone break. When they tell you to do therapy, do it. Like, it's hard because it hurts, and it's like, you don't want to sit there for an hour just moving a bone back and forth, but fucking do it. I mean, I'm still dealing with, repercussions of not doing anything. I'm letting that bone sit.
I've seen you have to have other people open your sodas for you.
Yeah, dude.
And like, not
Yeah, I
trying to
get
be
a lot of
funny
shit
about
at work
but
for it,
Dead
but
serious. Like,
I've taken
sodas for you.
channel locks, and
I've seen it.
like, because pinching that hard, just it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts.
I've had wrist surgery on my right hand, and being at work, if you're working on a steam line, busting a union loose, or just trying to bust a nut loose or anything.
I like you.
And I'll hold a little bit of pressure with my left hand. I go to bump it with my right hand. If I hit it right there in that sweet spot, my whole hand goes numb. I can feel it in my elbow. It's like, good night.
Yeah, work on was, one of our coworkers. We have a belt clipper that's really heavy, and when you take the top off of it, in the case, we'll flip it upside down. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But my wrist was shattered, so it was like when he went to go flip that, and all that weight was on there, and I twisted it. Dude, it fucking killed me. I mean, like, the pain is just insane. So, I can't imagine those freestyle motocross riders that break every single bone in their
Like
body.
Travis Pastrana.
Yeah.
He's broke like 90% of his body over his life.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
Twitch, like where they had big pins like this long shoved down into their knees to keep all their leg bones together. Ugh.
I couldn't imagine.
I never had nothing like that.
Poor Duane had a stubbed toe one
Yeah.
time.
I'll have you know I only cried for 20 minutes.
I don't know, I'm feeling gristled.
I'm always gristled.
You gristled up, Duane?
I'm gristled.
I think you were gristled coming here. You're one of them young fucking Thundercats. It's been fun having you on.
I've enjoyed it, that's for sure.
Good deal.
I like your input.
Thanks.
I want to thank everybody that's been viewing. All the feedback, commentary, that helps us make the videos better for you. Once again, we're just doing this for fun, for shits and giggles, but we like all the comments, liking, views, subscribing. So,
Just all the feedback.
Yeah, it really does help because it's like, I don't think we know what we're doing yet.
I guarantee
Yeah,
We're getting
you
to it though. Every time we have an
So
episode,
much.
I feel like we've improved on
oh,
something.
definitely. And we've got, which I've put it in a lot of the descriptions, we've got a more permanent solution. It's just going to take a little bit of time. So we've all, we've got lives outside of this, and we're just doing this for fun. But I mean, it's not that it's like ridiculous, because people have millions and billions of subscribers out there, but we're up to 28 subscribers last I looked.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're averaging 200 views a video.
200 views.
I never would have thought we'd make it past 50.
Yeah,
I
know.
The crazy thing is just how much fun we're having doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't come and do these thinking, oh, it's going to be like this or that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
if you don't like this episode, next week's may be better. So just stick in and,
Yeah.
or, just, I think the commentary feedback or any of it, just sharing it and then getting those people's feedback is awesome. It's just been a blast. I've really enjoyed it.
I have too.
I'm Gristle. Dwayne's Gristle.
Dwayne's young enough to
6 to
always
noon.
be.
Yeah, Dwayne's young enough. He's always Gristle though.
Yeah, you can't beat that thing down.
So
Can't beat it with a stick.
As always, I'm Cody.
I'm Sean.
I'm Caleb.
I'm Duane, the special guest.
Attaboy, Donnie.
Thanks for watching.